of this video is to introduce you to the teacher dashboard in MyOn. To get there, you're just going to go to myon.com, MYON.com, and click Login Now. Once you click Login Now, you might have to type in Piney Branch Elementary School. After you type in Piney and the letter B, you'll see it just pop up. You can just click it to continue. Then you'll type in your username that you use for everything on Prince William County Schools servers. These hams. And your password is change me. Once you're in, you'll see the roster of your students. This chart, once the kids have entered and started reading, will show you how many books they've read this current week as well as in the previous week. You can also change that view to show you the pages read and the time spent reading as well as the content. Comparing the books finished to the time spent reading can be a valuable tool instructionally to find out which kids are abandoning lots of books or not reading books in an adequate amount of time, showing that they might have fluency problems. Or it also, you can look at Lexile and see if they're reading books that are appropriate and just right in their instructional level, or if they're reading books that are far exceeding or too easy for their reading level. You can also look at their completion of quizzes as well as how they're doing. And you can look at assigned projects that you've given. We will do another video for the assigned projects, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and set up your classroom so that the kids can get started. So you need to go to user info. So we clicked our name, we clicked user info, and then you're going to have to go down and change your grade level setting. The default is no grade level. So you're going to want to go in and change to your current grade level that you teach, because this will dictate whether or not recommendations make sense for the students in your class. Then you want to set your Lexile level. The Lexile level can be found on the reading levels correlation chart that is attached to the email about MyOn. According to this, third grade reading on a 34 is about a Lexile 600 to 699. So we'll just set the slider over to about 650, and books that are recommended in the students are going to be around that range. Once you've done that, hit save. Changes have been saved and you're good to go. Now, you can go in and mark interests for yourself and the kids in your class. This will influence the recommendations that your students see, but most of the recommendations that they get will be based on what they chose for their interests. When you go to classrooms, you can go to students, and here is really the most valuable part of MyOn. In this area, you're going to be able to create student groupings. In order to create a group, you simply add a group. Your main group is obviously your homeroom class. If you want to make special reading groups, you can say reading group 1 or bluebirds or whatever you want to call them. If they're flexibly grouped, you just create it, use it, and then when you're finished with this grouping, you can just simply delete the groups. Maybe you're doing it by strategy groupings, then in this case, you're reading group 1, you might want to say connections. Hit close, then you're going to assign students. So you click assign. You're just going to pick your building, pick your grade, then pick your roster. Notice there was access to all students, so if you're a specialist, you'll be able to make groupings specifically based off of who you have in your classes from the various classrooms, which would be very helpful for SPED teachers as well as ELL teachers. Once you go through, if you want to have Ian and say Bailey and Zoe and Isaac in a class, we'll throw Landon too. Then we hit apply, and now we have a reading group with those groups. This will be especially handy when you make projects, because you can assign the project specifically to that group of students, which means that you can build the project so that it has very specific books that you'd like them to read, as well as any types of activities, graphic organizers, or writing assignments that would go with that activity and support the reading that they did. In the projects is where you'll be able to turn off the read aloud or enable it, depending on what your purpose is for the project. That's all we have for the MyOn teacher dashboard for now. One last final note for your students as well as yourself. This icon up here is for using MyOn on iPads. You simply click that and it'll give you a secret PIN you're going to use this to create your MyOn account on mobile devices. So if you download the MyOn app on your personal devices at home, this is how students, as well as yourselves, can access it using your iPads or Android tablets at home. I believe even iPhones get a pretty decent reading app through the MyOn store, or through the App Store. So it's worth checking out. I know it's very popular with the kids to use it on tablets. So have fun, happy reading.